How would this world be different if Rosa Parks had never stayed seated and dared to be different and sit on the front of that bus? If Orville and Wilbur Wright had listened to the critics and they never dared to fly in the sky? And sometimes people will go, "Oh, Jan, really? Who am I to try to change the world?" But I just say, who are you not to try and change the world? Who are you not to try to change the culture at your company? You have something that looks a little odd or a little off or seems a little risky, all of a sudden we take a step back and we pause. And that's what's happening in our organizations, and that's what's happening in those above you. If we don't stop and realize that it's our perspective that makes a difference, we're going to keep ourselves from growing. So many times people get attracted to the product, or they want to be their own boss, and they think they're going to run a business and money's just going to come flying through the doors. What they don't realize is they just bought a sales business, and they're in sales now, and they've got to drive it from the top down and build that sales culture in order to really be successful. But I say we change, people change, markets change, the economy changes. Things can change. We have to think bigger and get outside of our own comfort zone to make a difference. I'm going to challenge you to dare to be different. Y'all say that with me. Dare to be different. I can barely see you. Somebody get my attention. Dare to be different. All right, dare to come on up. Woo! One of my lifelong dreams was to play full tackle football. There's a team coming to Jacksonville, Florida, and found out about the tryouts. I actually went for it even though I wasn't ready, and got to live out one of my lifelong dreams that I never thought was possible. If people just put their mind to it, if they've got the right tools and they've got the dream and the drive and the reason to do it, they can move forward and reach their dreams too. Dare to challenge your people to do things just one notch above where they're at. Challenge people to get outside their comfort zone and to look at things from a different perspective. I'm going to ask you just to commit to doing 3 things differently today. Is that fair?
She wasn't reliant upon PowerPoint, very engaging with the audience, really interactive, and her passion for helping people is very evident when you watch her present.
I actually do a deep dive into their individual organization. So I found out what are the specific challenges that those particular franchisees face, what's unique about their business, what's going on in the economy, what are the trends, so that when I come to the platform, I can speak their language. How many of you wanted to be in sales when you grew up? Okay, now how many of you knew you didn't want to be in sales when you grew up? Okay, now thank you, we have some honest people in the room. All of a sudden the pressure's on. Revenue, drive growth, make this happen. Oh, and don't forget all the other compliance things. We find ourselves in this world that we didn't really sign up for. From your frontline employee who's answering the phone to the person that's doing the delivery, they've all got to have that sales mindset. So we work with them and give them the tools and replicate the models that we use to be successful in their own organization. You have heard it said that goal setting is sometimes just like throwing a bunch of spaghetti on the wall. If you throw enough out there, you hope something sticks. But we say, clarify your core values first, because you've got to go back to that driving magnetic force for you that will drive what you're doing on a day-to-day basis.
It was the most interactive and the most engaging course that I've been to. It was fun, and it was fun getting up and getting to know the group, and she was so enthusiastic and just very positive about what she had to bring.
The end result is the franchisee is then able to really step into the role that they desired in the beginning, and they really feel like they've become the business owner and they're working on the business instead of in the business on a day-to-day basis. For you, what will it be? What will you do differently as a result of what you've learned and heard here tonight? I'm a huge believer that we need people who understand their core values, they know their purpose, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to reach that and to accomplish that. Because it's tough out there, and we need people who are willing to try to change the world.